Hello there, this is Norm with WorkAtHomeGC.com, and this is the Front Page 2003 tutorial. Well, let me tell you right off the bat, I am not what you would consider a front page expert. However, I have been using it since 1998 and I like it a lot. So I wanted to give you a chance to have a look at something that you probably won't see anywhere else. But on the other hand, this is going to be a little controversial. I say controversial because old-timers who've been around a long time like me, a lot of them don't like front page at all. And of those, most of those detractors are people who never used front page. The earlier versions were kind of code buggy, although the pages always look good. But I believe Front Page 2003, the last version, pretty well took care of all of that. Another thing is Front Page 2003 went belly up in 2003. It's a dead program, and they're kind of hard to come by. But chances are you may have an old copy laying around somewhere. And this is about Front Page 2003. Don't use an earlier version because, as I say, 2003 pretty much, I think it's about the most perfect web page making program there is. It's 99% stable. It makes good looking pages. I think the code's pretty good. And best of all, for whatever reason, Google loves it. It is an SEO monster. You won't hear this anywhere else. So, if you have a copy, you might want to get it out and give it a whirl. So, Front Page 2003 may still be going after the next major WordPress update. When you're facing a lot of problems with your plugins and such. Well, the first thing you want to do is to go to your directory and make a folder on your root drive called Front Page. That's the first thing you want to do. And assuming that you have already installed Front Page or you are thinking about doing it, the next thing that you will do is to put an icon on your desktop where it's handy to see, and you will click on it. And what comes up in this case is my demo website that I made for you. But more likely what you're going to see is something like this. I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to make a one-page website, one page, and I will name it here, okay? And I've got one named Old Testy 2 right here. You want to aim it to your front page folder, and you want to name it something here, okay? And you want to choose a one-page website. And one word of warning, your 2003 copy may give you a bunch of templates. Stay away from them. They're outdated. Forget about them. You're going to strictly be working off of a blank page. And here's what you shall see on your screen. You will have a private folder, you will have images, and you will have the index. Now, the interesting thing about Front Page 2003 is that you will make your own folders, and the way that you make them will have a lot to do with the SEO value of your pages. This is the folder view, okay? And if you click on the index page, see you have a blank page here. And let me show you down here. You're in the design view now. There's also a split mode where you can see code plus the page plus code, and there's also a preview mode. So if I come up here and type in page and go to code right here, you see where it says page. Let me show you another interesting thing. If I highlight page and I go back to the code view, it's highlighted. That way you don't have to hunt around for what you're looking for in your code. It takes care of that for you. Also in the preview mode, it gives you a quick preview. Quick preview is good, but it's not perfect. What you'll always want to do is to go to your file, preview in your browsers, and you'll want to make sure to preview in all three browsers: Firefox, Internet Explorer, and Chrome, to make sure that everything's lining up just so. And the nice thing about it, you can have as many front page websites as you want to in your front page folder. You just keep making new ones, okay? Well, let's get out of this one and go back to the to my demo. File, close site. I don't save the changes. Open site, and we want to go to the old Bucksnort News. Okay, there we go. Now we're in Bucksnort News, and again we're in the folder view, And you see what I have here is the typical pages: about, advertising, contacts, and so forth, in the index page, and the private folder. Private folder. What front page does right off the bat? It creates a private folder that you can put things in to keep other people from seeing it. And it's a pretty neat place to stash pages you might want to come back to. Now let me show you something interesting. I'm going to click on the About page, okay? And this is the old Bucksnort News About page. And let's go to the code view. Another reason to use front page is that it's lightning quick, because what you do is you do all your work on your desktop, and then you upload the changes to the server. Now, in WordPress, you're working online all the time. Okay, so if you make a boo-boo, a real bad boo-boo, well, there you are. But in front page, if you make a boo-boo, it's just a matter of coming back, correcting it, and uploading the changes. In worst case scenario, if you really make a bad boo-boo, if you've got a backup copy of front page, all you're going to do is upload that, and all you've lost is your latest stuff. So there's backups for the backups. Also, a neat thing about it is in front page there's always 2 or 3 things to do the same thing. The guys who created this just did a fantastic job. It's like they knew everything you were going to do before you did it and planned for it. So that's a great thing. And lastly, with our modern platforms like WordPress, as you're well aware, when you make a WordPress page, it stashes different elements of the pages in different folders, and when someone on the internet clicks on your URL, it brings everything together to create the page. But front page, on the other hand, everything it needs to make a page is on the page. Okay, everything it takes to generate a page is in one place, and it's on this page, in this code view right here. This is the guts of it, and you see everything that goes into a page. And the nice thing about that is that, again, it's lightning quick. And let me tell you another reason that front page is so good, and it is one of the most controversial things about front page. As you're well aware, most everything we do in the modern era is with FTP. That's how we make our uploads. Well, front page uses something called HTTP. I am not an expert by any means. There are people who know way a lot more about this than I do, but I have been using it since 1998. FTP is backwards compared to front page extensions. It's like Microsoft developed the perfect way to make file transfers and then walked off and left it. I don't understand it, not a bit of it, and let me show you. After you install front page and make your first bit of a website, the first thing you want to do, of course, is to upload it. And the way we do that, now be advised that to use front page fully, you're going to be using front page extensions. You can use front page without the extensions, and there may come a day that this happens if the front page extensions go extinct. I just don't know, but so far so good. And what you want to do is go to your HostGator account, assuming you have HostGator or an account with a control panel, and make sure that it has front page extensions right here, and you want to click on that, and you want to tell it to install the front page extensions on your new website. After you do that, then you can go back and upload your website. It sounds complicated, but it's not really. There are just whirls and gobs of tutorials on the internet about front page that are still there to show you how to do these things. It's nothing to be concerned about. Well, this is the Bucksnort News tutorial website that I made for you in front page. And this is what the index page looks like. Using front page is a lot like using Word, okay? The main difference is that, well, really with front page and most everything other platform, is that front page is mostly designed using tables. And here I'm going to demonstrate what I'm talking about. The first thing we're going to do on our blank page is to create our theme, and it's just very easy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to put a few blank spaces in there. Then I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to make a table, and I'm going to go to table properties, and I'm going to make sure that the cell padding and the cell spacing is set at 0, and I don't want a border on here. Okay, boop. And that's the table. Okay, this is the header. Okay, so I've decided to make this a 2-column website, so then I'm going to insert another table, a 2-column table. Again, make sure that excuse me. Make sure that everything's set to 0. That way everything will lie flush. And then this is a little trick right here. You want to go here and highlight it, and you want to go to your cell properties and make sure that the vertical alignment is set to top. If you don't, you'll find out everything will be out of whack when you start working with it. Now at this point, this is the whole sheet you're looking at right here, and it just so happens that I have it set to 1581 pixels wide. And you can do that just off the screen down here on the bottom right. You can set the full page width to anything you like. Okay, so at this point the tables are the full sheet width, but I think maybe I'll set it to 1280. What the heck? So let's go to tables right here. I have specify width on, that way the tables don't change as you work. And I'm going to set it in pixels, and I'm going to make it 1280. And I'm going to set the thing to center. Same with this table. In pixels. Center. So this is the header, and this is going to be the page. And what I can do now is I can set the table column width to anything I like. And I'm not too concerned about this. It just depends on what I want over here on the left column as to how wide that this column will be. Isn't that nice? This is a view you're more used to seeing with working, say, with WordPress, and I can go change the whole page look by going to page properties and formatting, and I could set the background to black, for example, or I could use a background picture, a repeating picture, background picture if I like, but I'll just set it to black for the time being. The whole thing's black, and I might come back up here to the table and set the background to white. Same thing with this one, table, background, white. And at this point, I might wish to go put my banner right here. Well, I just built one very quickly, and I'm going to go get it. There's 2 ways to do it. You can stash your artwork anywhere on your computer you like and go do it that way, but I prefer to go ahead and put it inside the front page folder in the image section. So I'm going to go to images and get the old banner right here. I built the banner 1280, so it's the exact right size. Then you might want to do something with this column over here, and I can go over here to cell properties, and I can pick a color, a background color if I like, and we'll see, we'll make it yellow. Apply. Okay. I might want to add some text over here. Let's see here. Control B. I might want to make one of these a link. I'll go up here and click on my link button, and it's just that simple. Just in like 5 minutes, I've created the template for, you know, a good portion of the site. And the nice thing about this is you can use this template on as many pages as you like, or build a completely different template for another page. It's up to you when you use front page. Now here's the point I want to get across to you about using front page. It took me about 3 days to completely build my demo Bucksnort site for you. Now just imagine what you could do if instead of 3 days you took about 3 weeks on it. As I said in the PDF, what you'll want to do is outline your website, think about it, and then go in there and start designing it. And you can do just about anything you can imagine with front page. Let's add a picture right here. I'm going to go up here and grab one of my Bucksnort pictures. What about old text here? Here's where you can design how you want your text to go, to none, or to the left, or to the right. And I'm going to click on toolbars, and I'm going to come down here to the pictures. Okay, this is the picture toolbar. With this thing right here, you can even edit the picture if you like. For example, more contrast. Less contrast. Flip it, rotate it. And there's some other things you could do too. You can turn it into an image map. An image map is where you go highlight a section of the text, and then you can turn this thing into a link. It's fantastic. Just tons of things you can do. It's the fact that if all you've done up to date is WordPress, you're going to be amazed at the flexibility that a program like FrontPage can give you. And you know, even if you only play with it, you're going to be a better WordPress user for learning and understanding the many things that you can do with graphics that you didn't know that you could do. So should I want to save this page, what I'll do is come down here and right click and go to page properties. Here is where I will name the page, and we're going to call it Old Testy, and we want to put a good page description in here and the keywords. The page properties box is where SEO happens. If you do a good job right here, it's going to rank well later on. Okay, this is a very, very important box. Then I'll go to File and Save As, and I would call it Old Testy, and it would go right here. But I'm not going to save it. Let's go back over to the index page. Let's look at the real site. I'm going to get rid of this. Oops. Nope. Let's look at some of the elements on here. This is the banner. Let's go to table properties. You'll notice that I made the table 1,000 pixels wide, no cell padding, no cell spacing, no border. And the cell properties over here is 193. But what I did, I just adjusted that. Oh, what's that little square box right there? What does that mean? The little square box that pops up when I come onto this column over here tells me that I'm inside a server-side include, and a server-side include is one of the greatest things about front page. It's a whole lot. Well, it reminds me a whole lot like widgets on your WordPress site. Okay, when you make a change to a server-side include, it changes across all the pages. And what I'm going to do is go and look at my server-side includes. What I've done, I've put them in the images folder, and let's see here. Let's go to the footer. This is the footer on the website, and this is a server-side include. And what I have done, I have purposefully not put a site map on here yet, but I'm fixing to do that now. So, okay. Now, On the index page, you'll notice that I don't have a sitemap on here, but I just typed in sitemap, and when I save it, we go back to the index page, and all of a sudden you have a sitemap right here. That's how server-side include works. This is something you're going to use a lot. When you set up your site, you're going to be setting up the common areas like your footer and your left side column over here, right side column, or whatever. You're going to be using server-side includes for that. Now, some of this is server-side include, and some of it is not. As you can see, the box right here. This indicates the include. Down here, it's not. Very, very flexible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a sitemap page, and the first thing I want to do is to create a new page, and then I want to come up to here, and I'm going to click on Insert, Web Component, Table of Contents for this website, Finish, and I want to make sure that I click on Recompute Table if any pages are added. Okay. And this is the sitemap. Doesn't look like much, but it's going to look good when we publish it. In Page Properties, I'm going to name it Sitemap. Okay. Save it. Then I want to go back to my footer page right here and link it. Save it. Now if you come back to the index page, there it is. I want to upload my changes now, so I'll go publish them. And if I go to the Bucksnort News and click on Sitemap, there's the sitemap. How about that? But back to the website. Now let me demonstrate one of my top reasons for at least thinking about using front page for your community website. Now, you know how when you're working with WordPress, you know how it works. You make a change and you publish and wait. And you make a change and you publish and you wait a while, and so on and so forth. It takes a long time. But when you're using front page, everything's instantaneous. Okay? Now suppose that you have a site, your community site has 250 pages on it. And let us suppose that 80 of those pages has your phone number. And let us suppose that for whatever reason the phone company decides to change the area code. What are you going to do? Well, if you're using WordPress, I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go one page at a time, and you're going to change those area codes. Well, first you got to find them, then you got to change them, and every time you do that, you're going to sit there and wait and wait and wait. Okay? I mean, there is one other way. In WordPress, there is a global find and replace, but frankly, it scares me to death. Okay? Because once you've done it, if you've made a mistake, you're in the soup. I just don't trust it. But front page, this is the finest save and replace that has ever been made. Okay, suppose that they changed the area code to 822. Okay. Well, all you need to do is go highlight this, and you can go edit, or I'm just gonna go Control H. Brings up this page right here. I'm gonna copy this. Boop. I'm going to change this to 822. There are 3 modes. You can change just one page, you can change all open pages, or you can change all pages. Now the beauty part of this is that sometimes you might have a dozen pages open that that's all that you want to worry about saving or replacing. A lot of times this is the way it's going to be. But sometimes you don't really know, so you're going to do it on all pages. Well, I'm going to check. Click on all pages right here, and I could go find in site. This tells me how many this quickly goes and finds all the pages with the area codes on there. Replace all. So now all the pages that it found, hey, it's just that quick. How can you argue with that? Sometimes you want to make changes in code view too. Okay, there might be a snippet of code you want to change on a bunch of pages. You can go to the code. I'm going to go Control H again. I'm going to change this back to 821. All pages. Replace all. It shows you it's done it. Close. Now all the pages are back to 821. Friends, this can save you because as your community site grows, you're going to have a lot of pages on there. Sometimes you're going to have to make wholesale changes. This is the best save and replace that's ever been invented. Microsoft abandoned it. I don't understand why. Let me show you another neat thing. Suppose for whatever reason you wanted to change the Han Dynasty House of Crab Legs to Octopus for some reason. Okay, what you could do, let's come over here and find you an octopus picture that you like, and I use something called Light Shot, and I can go grab this picture like so. You want to make sure you don't, violate any copyright stuff. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back over to the front page. I'm going to hit Control V. I just pasted the octopus picture in there. You save the page and you've got the picture. Front Page is a fantastic web design tool. It is a bit outdated. It is a defunct program, but there are many good things to recommend it, and it's something for you to think about because you're going to be building the website that you're going to keep for the rest of your life, and you want to start out on the right foot, on the right foundation, and it's nothing you have to rush into. It's something you want to really think about. So I wanted to give you the front page option about what you could do with front page if you want to. So something to think about, and I've got some more tutorials for you with the other platforms. Thanks for sticking with me on this, and I hope I've given you some ideas.